Okay guys, so welcome to this next part, and in this part we'll start adding some details to this guy. So basically I'll toggle the full screen so you can see it better, and from the previous part I think we did all the basic detail, so it's quite nice. We can still fix few things, but let's see. So let's start with the face. So I think I'll subdivide it one time with Control 1 as I will apply it, and let's add the eyes also. So let's click Shift A to add a UV sphere, and I'll subdivide it 2 times, and I will right click to shade it smooth, so it will be more smooth. And now let's go to the modifiers, let's add a mirror, let's go to the object, edit mode, and let's move it to the right. So we have 2 eyes, and I will rotate this 90 degrees, so this part will point to front. So let's rotate it by 90 degrees on the x-axis. And now we can place it in correct place. So let's see, I think here is quite nice. We'll make more room for him, but basically if you go to, you should at least have one space for one more eye here, and it's a quite basic placement for the eyes, but for stylized character it can vary, so they tend to be closer to each other. So I'll move it more closer to each other like this, and then I will make a place here in the sculpt. So let's leave it like this for now. Let's go back to the head and let's add more space by using Sculpt Draw and click Control, but I have to enable. Let me enable the shortcut. Okay, so let's go to the sculpting mode here, and let's use the control brush to add more place for the eye. And let's see here, it will be right view, this will be front view, so I can see him better. So you can always adjust the right panel to see better the thing that you are sculpting. So like this, I will make room at the bottom of the eye also, like this, and I'll make a crease here where the eye ends, so it will be this sharp edge here, like this, and it's nice, it's fine. And I will also add more room at the top, so we will add the eyelids later on. Let's flat the forehead again, like this, and this part below the eye will also be flat, like this. Yeah, we are aiming to make it quite flat, because it will be more stylized. And I'll move this a bit down, so his forehead will be more visible, like this. Let's smooth this a bit out. Let's see from the side. Maybe a bit more flat, so I will use script again. Let's flat it. Yeah, I think it's fine for now. Okay. Let's move his chin more backwards, so it will fit nicely more with the rest of the head with this curve. And we can mark where the mouth should be. So first I want to do is to make the mouth go a bit outwards. So this part we will drag it out by using the grab brush, like this. So it should be a little bump here, like something like this. And now we can use the crease brush to basically draw where the mouth should be. So he's not smiling, so we will make quite flat line. Okay, later we will change it, but he's not smiling, he's sad guy. So like this should be fine. So here's our mouth. It's not perfect, but it's there. And also we can use the clay strip to mark this part that is in between the top lip basically, and we will flatten also it by holding the control. Let's see from the side. Yeah, it's nice. And let's use the crease brush to mark to separate the bottom lip from our chin. Like this. And we can also just drag this part out and drag this part inside to more like this. So it's better visible. So our lip is better visible. Yeah, I think it's nice. Let's see the front. Yeah. Yeah, he looks ugly as hell. So let's also, I want to move like the corners of the lips more backwards, like more towards our face. Like this. And let's move this a bit. And let's move it down so he's not smiling, as I said. He has this neutral face expression. Okay, for now it's very nice. Let's add the eyelid. So let's go back to the object mode and let's add a sphere again. And here you'll see the process, my process of making the eyelid. So let's go back to the layout. Let's go to the edit mode and I will go to wireframe. I will delete all the bottom vertices. So I click X and I just click delete vertices, and now let's go to the right view. Let's delete those right vertices and let's click delete vertices. So you should be left with only one half, like 1/4 half of the UV sphere, and this will be our basic eyelid. So let's add few modifiers. So first I add a subdivision surface to make it more like smooth. Then I will add a solidify modifier, which is here. So it will add a depth to our mesh, and I will make it 0.07. You can adjust it later. And now we can go actually to edit mode and let's scale it down and move it to the right, to one eye basically, to fit one eye. Like this. And I think the thickness is too big, so we can decrease it to 0.03, and we will need to increase our eyelid like this. As you can see here, there's still part missing, so we will rotate it on the Z-axis. Let's go to the side. And yeah, it should fit nicely with this part, so we'll cover it. And now let's go to the bottom part and let's move it more to fit with the eye. And as you can see, this should be bigger, so it will match the eye better. So let's match it with our eye. And let's see now if we go back to the solid view. Let's see, there's still a space here. So let's go back to the wireframe. Let's go to bottom view. Here's the edge of our eye. And I think we have to decrease it like this, basically. So something like this should be fine, I think. Yeah, it's almost perfect. So we only have one eyelid, so we have to add a mirror modifier. And now we have two. Very simple. And as you can see, his top eyelid has this nice curve that is going like this. So we will select the middle vertice here. We will click all to enable the proportional editing, which is here. You can see it's blue, which means that it's enabled, and we will choose the different preset of the curve. So I will use the sphere one. If you click G now, you should see the circle appearing. I don't know if you can see it, but I hope you do. And what it basically means that it will move all the vertices that are within this radius, and it will move it proportionally. So I will move it on the Z-axis, so I'll move it up, and as you can see, it will add our curve to it. And with the middle mouse, you can adjust how big the radius is. So I'll move it up something like this to match the picture. Yeah, I think it's not, something like this is okay. Let's move this part a bit down. So let's move it on the z-axis. Yeah, something like this. And also the side, let's fix it a bit because it's not very nice. Like this. And let's select this invisible, those invisible ones, and let's move them down like this. Yeah, something like this should be fine. You can play with it if you want to make it more smooth. But don't spend too much time on it. And something like this should be fine for now. And that's it for our top eyelid. And we can also add the bottom eyelid. So let's basically duplicate it and let's go to the edit mode. Let's select everything, let's rotate it. Let's disable the proportional editing by clicking O. Let's rotate it by 180 degrees here and let's move it down. And we will just use the part of this. So we will move it more towards our eye. Let's go to the wireframe mode. Let's select everything. Let's rotate it also like this so it will match. And let's see how it looks. And his bottom eyelid is a lot thinner, like a lot closer to the eye, and also a lot smaller. So not everything is visible, so we will select this part. I will click out to enable proportional editing and I will move everything down like this. Yeah, and this part I will move it up like this. And this part basically connects with this part. So we will try to make it work together. Something like this should be fine. Let's see from the front view. Yeah, it's more than enough. And we can also smooth out the edges here by adding the bevel modifier, which is this one. And it should add the bevel here. As you can see, it's very small. I don't know if you can see it, but if I increase the width, it should be visible, but it's not. So let me use the different limit method. So you will choose angle, so it will add the bevel only on the angles. So now it should work. Okay, I think it works, but we have clamp overlap, which is basically it will clamp our width once it will get like once the mesh will start deforming. That's where clamp overlap works. It just basically prevents you from your vertices to like overlap each other. So we can leave it like this for now. I'll move it a bit closer to the eye. So I will move it more to the left a bit like this. So there will be no gap in between the eye like this. Let's see the front. The front is okay. We have to fix it. So we will select this invisible vertice and move it to the front so it will be in the front of the eye like this. And let's move it let's move it up like this. Something like this should be fine. Let's select this one. Let's move it down. Okay, we can play with it later, but for now, let's leave it like this. It's fine, perfectly fine. Okay, so now let's go and fix our nose. Remember to save the file, guys. Let's fix our nose. I will subdivide it one time. I'll click apply, and now we can go back and move this part. Basically, let's go to sculpting to see everything better. So his top part of the nose is quite thin. Let's use the scrape brush to flatten it, basically, to make it something like this. Let's hide this part by using the inverse sculpt draw. It will make it connect better with our chin, like cheekbones, later on. But for now, we have to separate it. So as you can see, the nose, let's sharpen this part by using the crease brush. Let's sharpen it like this, so it will connect with our face. And this part we can smooth out a bit. And then we will connect it, but for now we just want to fix the shape of our nose. Something like this. So now we can actually add the hole. So I will use the inverse sculpt draw brush to indicate where the holes should be. I will not make them now, but I will just draw where they should be. Something like this should be fine. And maybe here is quite big holes like this. Yeah. Okay, something like this should be fine. Yeah, it's very nice. And for the nose, that's it for now. It's fine enough, so let's save it. Now we can go to the chest. Let's subdivide it first, and then let's apply it. Let's go to sculpting. And remember guys, always have, I will basically connect the bottom part with the top part now. So I'll select this part and the top part, both of them. So you should have this outline in both of them. Click Ctrl J, so it will be joined. And now we can go to sculpting, and as you can see, if you go to the wireframe mode, there's a connection here inside the mesh, and this is not what we want. So we want to remesh it basically, so it will fix it for us, because if you now start sculpting, it's very weird. So if you want to remesh it, just click here, click remesh, and as you can see, if you go to wireframe, there's no longer geometry inside our chest. But let's undo it, and we'll add more voxel size, so it will be 0.5, I think. It's nice, and let's now smooth it out, smooth out the connection like this. And one tip I wanted to say is to always have the anatomy on your second screen, so you can look at the pictures. So I'm just looking at the pictures and try to mimic what is on the photo. So I will not be talking that much. I will try to explain everything, but as you can see, I just use the crease brush to manipulate the shapes, to draw where some muscles should be, where the creases should be. I use the inverse crease brush to make them sharper, basically, like this. Yeah, like this. I will connect this with the arm. This part I will crease it more down to make it more visible, like this. Quite blocky. And now let's indicate where the rib cage is. So rib cage is somewhere in the middle of your whole body. So it will start here, it will move down, and it's for stylized characters, but you can apply it to the real human too. But I'm not good at anatomy, so I don't know, I'm not sure yet. Like, I'm not 100% sure if this is correct, but I see on the picture I do it the same. So I draw the line here. I will sharpen this part so it will be more visible, like this. So we have the basic rib cage. Let's see from the side now. If we are sculpting the chest, we should change the view to the chest. I will move this part more to inside, so they will be closer to each other, like this. I'll smooth out this weird bump here. I'll move this part more out. And here I'll add a bit of fat, of muscle here. Just draw a few clay strip lines, so it will not be that flat. Let me see from the side. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, now let's draw the V shape here, where like all the guys want to have it. So they want to have this V cut, which is very nice looking. Let's add a bit of muscles here. There is a bone here. If you touch your body, you can feel it. And now let's add this I don't know, this hole here, where you have this connection with your mother, where you're in the womb, and then they cut it basically. So it's very nice, something like this. I use the Sculpt brush, and as you can see, this stomach is quite flat, but it's not flat all the way. This part, like on the sides, they are not flat, so we can use the clay strip to draw the inverse clay strip to draw it here. So we'll make it go towards the body here more. It will be more curved basically, because we are not rectangulars basically. Our body is very curved, it's very smooth. Only stylized characters have those like sharp edges, sharp blocky shapes. So something like this should be fine for the body. I know it's not perfect and there's a lot to change, but we will not focus on it that much because it's not visible. So I will move the ribcage a bit up, and I think that should be fine. Okay. The only reason I do the body is to teach you guys a bit, and also to later on make our cloth lie on it better. So something like this should be fine. Let's go to the back. The back muscles, let's see. Let's draw a crease here. Let's connect it better with our top, because we didn't smooth out. So I will just draw a few clay strip brush and smooth it out. Here also, where you see the inappropriate body parts, there is the place, like you can clearly see from the matte cap where the concave parts are and where the convex parts is, so you can basically see where you should add more clay or where you should delete it. So I will add a basic line here which indicates our spine like this, and on the top it will go a bit to the side like this. Yeah, it's nice. Let's move out, let's like flatten this part up like this, and also from the back let's flatten it a bit. Let's see from the side. We can add the cut here, so we'll separate our chest from our from this muscle, but then we will smooth it out because he's not that much muscular, but we'll just split it so we can see our chest here. Okay, I will use the clay strip to draw inside here, so we can clearly see that here is his chest. Let's move it down a bit. Okay guys, so let's move back. Let's finish the back basically. I will sculpt this line here to indicate the muscle, and also the guys, they basically have this muscle here, which is very big if you are working out, but this guy is clearly not working out, but there's no problem because he looks very nice, very handsome. Okay, let's move out. You can see that I do a lot of like doing the details and then I smooth it out, and the reason why I do it is because I don't want this to be that much visible, but I want it to be there. And you may think that I just deleted the detail that I just drew, but there's a purpose for that, because you can see it, like you can still see this cut, but it's not that visible, and this is what I wanted to achieve. So for the back muscles, I think this is very fine. We could add also the muscle here. Okay, something like this is fine for the back muscles. And let's see, for the front part is done. Let's move to this part. I forgot his name, and I will subdivide it 2 times basically, and I will apply it. I will go to sculpting, and I will make it more stylized. So I will use the script brush, and I will flatten this part out. Also, I will flatten everything that I said before. So the top plane here, this plane, and I love the feeling of this new scrape brush. It's very different and it's working a lot nicer, and it's really basically nice. You don't have to do extra setup to make it work the way you intended. So let's flatten this bottom part here. Let's see. Yeah, it's nice. Let's go back, and we want to flatten also here, like this, and here also another plane. Let's check this out. Yeah, it looks very nice. Let's smooth out this part to make it more consistent. Let's smooth out this part, and here I want to use the pinch brush to pinch it like this. Yeah, it's very nice, at least for me. Let's see. I will move this a bit down, so this line will not be that much visible. And I will move this a bit up, and I will try to connect this plane with this one by just smoothing out this part. So you can see that it goes from here, then it goes to there, and it ends here. So it basically a one loop. Let's pinch this part to make it more sharp. Okay. Yeah, it's very nice. And let's go back. And now let's go to the forearm. Let's move it more to the right, like this. And we can smooth out a few things. And I think I'll connect the arm now, because it will be easier for me to shape it. So let's select this, and let's click Ctrl J to connect it all together. And now we can go to the front, to the sculpting view, sculpt mode, and let's remesh it. And 0.05 was, let's check the detail. So there's no picker, so it's very sad. There's no picker, so you can really determine what size your voxel is, but you can just remesh it and see how much it changed. So I changed to 0.034. And it's very nice. Let's smooth out the connections. So I just hold the shift to go to the smooth brush, like this. And yeah, as you can see, it's very weird. So let's see the side, let's see the front. Just look at the picture now, and let's see what else can we improve. So the connection, here we have the middle connection. We'll draw a line here, and also from this part here we will draw a line, so we can see where the top arm is. Let's make it even more visible, like this. Let's smooth out this part, basically. Yeah, nice. Let's make one line here in the middle. So there's a muscle, those two muscles here. Let's see from the side. This side is awful. We'll make it more bigger a bit, so we'll add more curve here, like this. And as I said before, he's not that muscular guy, but he has to have some meat. So let's move this a bit out. This part like this is okay, but we have to indicate where the muscle goes. So I will draw a line here. So this is one muscle, the triceps, like this, and the rest is quite nice. Let's move out this bit. Let's see the front. The front, I will move this part more out. Let me move it out a bit, and this part I will move it more inside, like this. Yeah, it's fine. Let's move it. Let's move this more to the inside. Like this. Okay, this part I can even make it more thinner here, so it will go like this. Okay, something like this is fine. It's totally fine. The muscles they are also fine. Let's separate this part even more, because it's not that visible. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, something like this is very nice. We can even draw the line to connect it, but usually they are separated, but not that much. So let's smooth it out a bit. Okay, you can see the line here and the line here, so you know where forearm is. I will move it a bit down, I think, because the top arm is too small. Something like this should be fine. Yeah, and we will leave it for now like this. Let's go to the hair. Basically, the fingers, I hate fingers. I will leave them for now. And let's go to sculpt mode. Let's subdivide it 2 times, and I will, yeah, we have to subdivide it 2 times and apply it. And now let's go to sculpting, and I will basically turn off the mirror, I think. So I will turn off the mirror, and I will just play with the shape of his hair to match more with our character. So use the grab brush, the snake hook brush, which is also good for manipulating the hair, but I want the overall shape of the hair. There should be something like this. I'll move it more to the right, like this. Let's move out a bit. Okay, his hair is very weird, and I don't know how to make it that good. But I know that here we can move this part down, like this. And we can use the crease brush to draw the crease that separates the planes of our hair. So this part will go back like this. And I believe that on the other side he has the same thing, so let's drag this down. And let's separate it also. Like this should be fine. Let's go to the back. Let's drag this part a bit down like this. Yeah, something like this should be totally fine. Move this. And now this part is very hard, so I'll use the snake hook brush to drag out, to make it, to shape it basically. Something like this should be fine. And he has this weird hook here. So this part is going outside. From here it should be fine. Let me see. I will make it go. I will make it more flatter. Yeah, it's very hard basically. This part I will definitely move down because it covers his forehead, I think, even. And let's draw a crease here. We can separate it even better. Let's smooth out this part. Because his hair is mostly on this side. Let's see, something like this is... it's okay. Let's move this like this. This part, let's move it up. Something like this. We are getting close, guys. Let's move this part up. Okay. And I think we have to separate it even more, like this. Let's go to the top view. Let's smooth this part. Let's make it a bit bigger. And let's smooth it out. Yeah, something like this. I don't have his hair specifically, so I don't know how it looks from the other angles, but just try to make it look good. Okay, something like this should be fine. Let's use the remesh modifier to remesh it, so there's not much detail, so we'll have to decrease it 0.5. Let's see, 0.5. Okay, 0.5 is nice. Then smooth out. Let's sharpen this part like this. Let's smooth out this part. Let's move it here. Okay. Something like this. I'll move this part a bit down. Okay. Something like this should be fine for now, for the hair. So we'll leave it here, guys. And then we will come back to it once we will add more detail. Let's see. Yeah. Very fine. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back. Let's save our file. And yeah, let's go to those hands. I hate those hands. Yeah, I think, or not. Maybe in the next part. I think this is more than enough for this part. So let's save our file, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.